So a lot of folks don't know that, mosquitoes are actually a big part of our ecosystem here in Albuquerque. And we know that historically there's even been some issues like West Nile virus and so forth, but most of us really just know mosquitoes from getting bitten all the time, especially this time of year. And that's just also the case for my kids who are just like food for mosquitoes. So I'm constantly saying, why can't we get some mosquito fish? That's what we're going to talk about today. So our city is very fortunate to have our own urban biology department, and we actually grow mosquito fish. So let's talk mosquitoes with our own urban biologist.
Thank you. So this year in particular has been a very active mosquito year in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. We have seen West Nile positive mosquitoes and unfortunately human West Nile cases in the city and the county. It is very important that people take care to protect themselves from mosquitoes and potential public health issues. The other new trend that we're seeing in the county and in Albuquerque itself is that we have a new species of mosquito, and that's called the Aedes aegypti mosquito, or the yellow fever mosquito. And they love living in backyards, they love living around people's homes, they love biting people. And our calls have increased significantly this year, and our trapping and our surveillance have found these mosquitoes exploding all over the city. So what we can talk about today is some of the places that these mosquitoes breed. Mosquitoes only need enough water that can fit in a bottle cap to complete their life cycle. So a small thing like this in the yard, as long as it stays wet, would be perfect to have mosquitoes breeding in your yard. Same goes for plastic containers, different jugs, things that hold water, 5-gallon pails or smaller. It's important to dump this water out whenever you find it in your yard, because having any water will allow mosquitoes to breed.
This is a good one too. That is my daughter's chair, basically. This is my backyard.
Exactly, and
That's
this is
enough,
a great example of what people don't think about, because buckets are made to hold water, bird baths are made to hold water. They think of those areas to clean them, but kids' toys, they hold water, and if your sprinklers are running on them every day or every other day, that's enough water for mosquitoes to breed. And if the kids aren't using the toys, you might have a mosquito problem. So it's important to look for sites like that. The same goes for things that you might not be seeing. That includes trash that might blow in from the wind and get into shrubs or bushes in the yard. That can hold water as well. The other thing people like to do in Albuquerque is have rain barrels to conserve water and to water their plants. For rain barrels, it's very important that people have netting on the barrel. That won't allow mosquitoes in to breed in the water, and it doesn't allow mosquitoes out if they potentially are in there.
So some great tips for all of us. Thanks so much for those. And also we have a little critter who can help with mosquitoes. We'll talk about that next. So we are here out at Montesa Park, and there's a number of city facilities out in this area. It's kind of in that arroyo between the airport and Mesa del Sol. And one of the things our urban biology department does out here is grow mosquito-eating fish in ponds like these. And so show us kind of what's happening here.
Sure, so these are Gambusia affinis, or the western mosquito fish. It's a species that isn't native to New Mexico, but is a useful tool in mosquito control for artificial water sources in backyards, not those natural water sources like the river or the associated ditches, but things like ponds, backyard garden containers or water containers, lily ponds, fountains. That's a great thing. And these fish can be placed in there and they eat a ton of mosquito larvae. So to show you some fish, we catch them in minnow traps and we make these available to the public to use in their backyards.
So here are some of the mosquito-eating minnows that you can actually have in your backyard. So how can folks get these?
The city supplies mosquito fish for free for the public to use in their artificial water sources in their yard. We actually have distributors in the city that include Mud Monster's Pond Supply Store and Just Sprinkler's lawn store, where they'll actually provide fish. The public can go in and go home with a bag full of free fish. They can also contact the city directly through 311 or through the Environmental Health Department website and ask for fish directly from us.
Right on. So folks can really take advantage of this program and also help us combat West Nile and other mosquito-borne illness. And also appreciate having this department and these folks at our city who are doing some things to keep us all safe.